Just going to double check real quick to make sure we are live. Excuse me. Okay, we are live. All right. Give me 1 second here, and then I'll give my general thoughts as to what is going on right now. Okay, yeah. We are live. All right, I'm going to go live on TikTok as well. And, all right, you're not a member of the YouTube channel. That's perfectly fine. I put this as member only for commenting so that I can focus more on looking at the charts and giving my thoughts on the charts. So that's why I have it at member only. And you're, general public, you're watching right now, you are welcome to watch for sure. All right, going to go live for subscribers on TikTok. And let me open my trading journal. You know what? Before I open my trading journal, I've watched some videos on a channel, a YouTube channel called Trader Lion. And this guy, Stan Weinstein, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, he has been on a couple times. I've gotten the most value from him. And so Trader Lion, go to Trader Lion, subscribe on YouTube. Stan Weinstein, whenever you see him on, watch his content. So give me a second here. Where am I going? Yeah, the Trading Journal. Okay. So Trading Journal. Tony. Hey, Alex, what advice do you have for people who have been hodling for over a year and are down, sell in May, win or lose? All right. So sell in May and go away is a real thing. And I don't expect this year to be any different. But what is sell in May and go away? It's you look for an opportunity to sell in May. All right, you look for on an upswing. You just don't get too greedy. You sell. Okay, I would sell in May. Now, let's see what the market gives us. If the market just let's say the market pops in May, and it's just going to keep on going up and up and up and up and up and up. At any point that we start to see some weakness, that is when I would sell. Let's say the market chops in May. I'm probably going to de-risk, but what could happen after May is if we chop, is just more chop. And I just don't want to be here for the chop. What I want to do is, personally, I want to trade, and I just want to de-risk when it comes to whatever I'm holding on to. I'm hodling. So I don't have an answer for you as far as selling in May, aside from I think it's just in general going to be a good idea when the time comes. Alex, and tomorrow is also news for HEEHEE, where I'm doing a space with On-Chain Labs. I'm going to tweet that out. I'm going to announce it that's huge. It's going to be huge for HEEHEE, okay? And is it going to be huge short term? I don't know, but when the time comes, when the market gets really hot, that's going to be huge for HEEHEE, I'm telling you. So doing a space with them, they are a major disruptor to exchanges. And but listen, I need, until we see a breakout, my primary focus is going to be on other things other than HEEHEE. But it's good. I'm accumulating HEEHEE right now. Okay, it's good to generally accumulate, because when the time comes, I'm going to be on it, and KB is going to be on it, and it's going to get really hot. And HEEHEE could easily, I think it would easily go back to 10 million market cap. It's at 1 million right now, but even more than that when the time comes to strike. So, okay. Excuse me. General, I wanted to share my March 31st update on the Trading Journal. For those of you who have access to the Trading Journal, I trimmed the list down to 20 cryptos. I want to give better analysis, higher quality analysis. So I trimmed the list down to 20 cryptos so that I can focus on those 20 and give more regular updates. So there's where the 50 was too overwhelming of a list. I should be able to provide higher quality feedback for the 20 that remain. Looking for short-term longs this week. My perspective, again, is that tomorrow, big bad tariff day. You know, Trump's going to speak at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, United States. The tariffs are going to be enacted. I believe that we have sold off too aggressively into that fear. And I believe that what comes after that is a buy the event kind of thing. And so I have been looking for longs. Now, okay, Bitcoin right now is over $85,000. And it got down to 81.3 yesterday, and it's getting up to resistance at the 200-day moving average and this trend line. So right now, I'm not necessarily looking for any new longs. I'm just going to wait and see. But I bought some spot. I tweeted all that out. I opened some longs on Bitmart, and I've done well with those. I had more wins than losses so far this week. But right now, we're just kind of in wait and see mode and chill mode. And so we'll see about all of that. But again, my mindset, we'll see, is that tomorrow or Thursday, because I don't think the tariffs officially go in effect until until Thursday. So my mindset for now is I'm bullish for tomorrow and for this week. Do you think buy the news is now, sell the news since we are pumping into tomorrow? No, I don't. Because this is a month, this is 2 months of selling pressure, 2 months of Bitcoin being way oversold, and just a couple green candles doesn't negate that. So I could see us breaking through this downtrend tomorrow for Bitcoin. What's up, Bull? Yeah, I mean tomorrow or Thursday, I could see finally a breakthrough, and then holding the 200-day moving average as support, and then we'll see from there. So, yeah, but given the fact that we're $4,000 up in Bitcoin from where we were yesterday, I'm holding off. Yeah, high pitch sound. Oh man, I think that's the lights. Let me turn off the lights real quick. I have no idea where that's coming from. I'm hoping it's not my computer. It might be my computer. Give me a second. Oh my goodness, it is dark in here. Okay, video quality is all right, still present. I have no idea what this high pitch sound is. Maybe I can, you know what I'm doing right now? I mean, I'm turning the volume on the microphone down a little bit. Yeah, I know it's all good on TikTok. I'm responding. It's gone. Okay, well, it's gone now. So, yeah, just on YouTube. I am on YouTube. So, do you think the reciprocal tariff news will dump us? Foregone. I am bullish. Stop it. I'm bullish. All right, Lofi is a good play. I mean, I bought some Lofi last week, and then it kept going down. I think at some point it will be. So, all right, I'm going to try to turn the lights on in my office again. And if the pitch is present, let me know, Leroy. All right. The lights are back on. So, okay. Let's look at some cryptos. Like I've said, I mean, really for a lot of these cryptos, now that's the 4-hour chart. For a lot of these cryptos, I was very excited to buy yesterday. Very excited to buy. And changing back to offense, that's what I've been talking about. Yes. I said in a video yesterday that I was with my stable coins, I was buying back in. I was 25% in last week, maybe 30% in between yesterday and Wednesday. My intention is to be probably more like 80% in. I don't think I'll be 100%. So 80% in, something like that. Yeah, no worries, Real Monkey. Hello, Bush. All right, got liquidated on Uniswap. Do you think I'm safe to long at these levels? Hey, I have an idea, Foregone. How about you do 1 or 2x instead of what you're doing? So, what do we have here with Uniswap? Maybe we formed some support here. Okay, high pitch sound. So it must be the lights. All right, I'm gonna turn off the lights then. Give me a second. Okay, I hope that's it. I hope that's it. And then I have some, I have a light on. The LED lights are out to get us. Yeah, I'm in this office with the, old school lighting. So I'm just going to keep the lights off, even if you tell me the high-pitched sound is still there. I just don't know. I mean, maybe my microphones, I got a new computer. My microphones are too close to maybe my microphone's too close. All right, almost gone. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to listen to this live stream afterwards. All right, let's talk some crypto. That's crazy, man. It's the lights. So, all right, first of all, Uniswap, and then I'll look at Alephium. I'm assuming you're talking about Alephium and not Aleph.im. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is where we bottom out for Uniswap, especially considering I'm just in general bullish right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we revisited this level. I'd be interested in buying at $5.85. Not that I do anything in particular with Uniswap, but did that make the cut? That's a question I need to ask. Uniswap did not make the cut. All right. I trimmed my list down from 50 to 20. So 50 was too much. So Uniswap did not make the cut. So 20 cryptos that I will be making once or twice a week updates on. Uniswap is not one of those, but that might be it. 585, if it revisits that, which it might not. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, next day, day after that. So, all right, Alephium, if you're talking about Alephium and not Aleph.im, I mean, this has nonstop been one of the ugliest charts in all of crypto. It looks terrible. And this is one that I just have no interest in buying at all, not even right now. And the big reason why is new utility is not the play. New utility, the first thing that's going to pump, you got to think about this. There's a pool of maybe 50 to 100 cryptos that we can trust are reliable cryptos. Okay, those are all from 2021 or earlier. What's a reliable crypto? One that we, if we're going to see a reversal in the market, we can very much expect this crypto to be a part of that reversal. I would say like a Cardano, a VeChain. What else? I mean, there's plenty of them, like Avalanche, Solana, XRP, XLM, things like that. HEEHEE is not new utility. So if we see a reversal, I mean, listen, I'm going to be in here talking about HEEHEE a ton, for sure. Chainlink, yes. Chainlink would be one of those reliable ones. That's where I would put most of my attention. Arrow, I would not. And Arrow did not make the cut. Because I want cryptos that are easier to trade. Arrow is just, there's not enough confluence with price history. Quant makes the cut as far as like a crypto that I'd be okay buying. Chainlink, Pendle, Caswell, Litecoin, yes. Pendle, yeah, Pendle was around in 2021, so that would make the cut. Caspa is not one of those that would make the cut. But Avalanche, ICP, yeah. Those are cryptos that I'm more interested in buying. But the ones that I'm most interested in buying are the ones that don't have terrible tokenomics. So I don't remember, but Pendle, AVAX is okay. It's not amazing. ICP is not that great with tokenomics, okay? So older cryptos without terrible tokenomics. So those are the ones that I'm interested in. Chainlink, I mean, the thing about Chainlink is if I pull up the chart here, here's what makes Chainlink easy to trade. You see all these lines on the chart. And look at just how Chainlink respects support and resistance. This is what I want to be loading up on right now, is something that I know I see an ideal entry and an ideal exit. You know, I feel like with something like a Lithium, I'm too in the dark. I'm in the dark as far as like, man, this thing could just keep on going down. And then if it rises, let me pull up the Ethereum chart again. If it rises, where's your take profit level? There's just very little in terms of anything price history wise. I mean, it shouldn't be surprising that Ethereum spent so little time going from where it was in December 2023 up until, you know, December 2023, and then just kept on pumping harder, that there's just no confluence historically there with Ethereum. I don't want to mess around with that. I want things with good price levels, lots of history. So, okay. All right. I'm assuming for those of you asking on TikTok, you were asking like, what are the cryptos that I'm interested in buying or trading right now? And so let me look at a few on here. Trading spreadsheet. Let's see. Aave. April Fool's Day. My wife's pregnant with number 8. April Fools. That's not true. I thought about tweeting that out. I thought it would be a little distasteful. So that's the only April Fool's joke you're going to get from me. Let's see. Okay. Aave. Oh, man. Is this going down to 134? I would think not. If we're going to see a reversal, no, it's not going to. That would be a great place to enter. But, man, I mean, on its own, this chart doesn't look amazing. But again, yeah, I mean, I'm not too excited about longing this right now, especially considering that Aave went lower on Monday. It's kind of in no man's land, you know? So I would think, you know, until we see something, I would think that Aave could potentially get up to a lower high, somewhere around 180, but then I'm just going to expect it to continue to go down. So not too excited about it. Excited about doing anything with it right now. Okay. New to crypto, so thanks for explaining things like that. It's helpful and appreciated. No problem, Steve. Thank you. Would you long ICP right now? 5x. Foregone 1 or 2x. I'm telling you, stop it with the multiple X's, man. That's why you got liquidated on Uniswap. You don't know what you're doing. Good afternoon, Huggy. Okay, yeah, ICP, man. All right, so you can see kind of what I was thinking would happen with ICP is just lower lows, but you know what? Man, okay, ICP, that's not how it played itself out. Now it did lose a little bit of an uptrend. This is on the daily chart. So from here, I mean, that's a higher low. Maybe we're going to see ICP move higher. I don't love this idea of longing on two straight green candles. But this has more potential right now than Aave does. So let me just are the tariffs still going into effect tomorrow? Yes. Yes, they are. And I have communicated my expectation that we have sold a great deal into the fear of the tariffs going into effect. You never know, but we will see. Okay, what are we doing with ICP? Yeah, I would wait. I mean, let me look at the 4-hour chart. All right, so I'm seeing on the 4-hour chart a lot of cryptos are way oversold on stochastic. So I would wait for a reset at least on the 4-hour. On the daily chart, it's way overbought. Or yeah, sorry, I meant overbought. Yeah, way overbought. And then on the daily chart, it's way oversold. But on the 4-hour chart, so this could take 24 hours to play itself out, to where maybe what we would see is a move down to this 20 period moving average, 534, 530, and then progressing higher. So maybe that's it. That would be a low confidence trade, honestly. Just given the last couple of days have been bullish for ICP. So overbought on the 4-hour, maybe 530 for an entry, low confidence. Okay. Let's see. We have now Cardano. So Cardano, I had a limit order. I told you guys about a limit order on Cardano that has filled, and it went a decent amount lower than what I thought, but I just held on to it because I didn't use 5x leverage. I actually, I should have used even less leverage. I used 3x, which all this week I have only used 1x or 2x. And it's worked out very well for me. So Cardano, my limit order was this lower level here, 67.85 cents. It went down to 63 cents. My stop loss was 57.45 cents. I'm going to ride this in one of two directions. I'm going to ride this up to 89.18 cents, or I'm going to have my stop be there at 57.45 cents. I mean, that's a fairly wide range. So if it moves down somewhat significantly from here, there's a possibility that I'd just close it manually. But I wasn't even close to considering closing Cardano at 63 cents. So entry filled. If you were, I think this is still a good level to enter Cardano, and then maybe have a tight stop, just in case something crazy happens. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of volatility in both directions tomorrow. So what do we do with that? I don't know, but. Okay. All right, so I wrote down in the trading journal, entry filled on Cardano, currently in profit, still at a good level for an entry. Avalanche. I bought some spot Avalanche yesterday. I did tweet this out, by the way. I entered at $18.75. If we go back to the daily chart, I just really liked, I liked the strength on the breakout. Oh my goodness, what did I just do? I don't know. Oh, I changed it to weekly. Okay. I like the strength on the breakout for Avalanche. Sorry, something's not right. Well, anyway, yeah, I like the strength in the breakout. I was pretty confident that this was not going to put in a lower low than what we saw here at $15.10. So I just bought spot, about $1,000 a spot. It is just for short term. It's just for a couple days, whatever, a few days here. I think that it's going to go higher. Obviously, I mean, I think, and when I say go higher than where it was on March 25th, which is $23 and some change here. So I would not short for the next 6 hours, no. Unless I saw a swing pattern failure trade, which if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. So Avalanche is okay right now to enter with spot. My target, my hope was that Avalanche would go down to $20. And yesterday it went down to, I think, right around $18.20 or so. And so I bought at $18.75, bought spot, and now I'm just holding on to it. And, it's up. I moved my stop loss to a little bit higher than the entry so that I at least, if it were to go down, would not go straight to zero or lose any money. So I think it's okay. I think it's still okay to enter on Avalanche here. And we'll see where it goes from here. So like I said on my last notes with Avalanche, waiting for a higher low somewhere around $20, and it's currently below $20. So the market gave us a little bit more of a discount than I was expecting. So this is a good entry still, in my opinion. It went down to 18.12, 18.20. Entered at 18.75 and still below $20. So I think it is still at a good level to enter. Tight stops on any entries that you make today, because you never know what tomorrow could bring. So basically, we have max 6 to 7 weeks for an interim run. You never know. I am operating on that assumption, but I just want to communicate again. As always, I'm going to let the market lead me, just like I did in December. When I sold, I sold 40%. I wish I sold more, obviously, but just like I did in December. Something worth keeping on your radar is let me go to x.com. A chart that I saw by my internet friend Louis Raskin. Oh, interesting. Okay, Alvarez. The S&P 500 is on track for its worst quarter compared to the rest of the world since the 1980s. Oh, wow. Wow. That's interesting. Compared to the rest of the world. Oh, my goodness, that's crazy. All right. Did you recover some money for the HEEHEE marketing wallet? Yes. I had stuff in liquidity that there's no way they would have known to look there. So, okay. Where's that chart? Oh, man. Okay, here we go. So, global liquidity. I'm not a full believer in global liquidity being a perfect correlation. If you zoom out beyond the last year and a half, you'd see that there's plenty of times when global liquidity did not correlate perfectly to Bitcoin. Okay, so sell in May and go away. This is on my radar at least. Here's global liquidity. Bitcoin's price tends to trail global liquidity by 3.5 months, something like that. And so here we are. If that's going to remain that way, we have, I'm sorry to say, a month of chop, a month of hanging around the upper 70s. Sorry. And then May 1st, blast off. That's what, if we are going to be correlated to global liquidity, which I'm not convinced that it has to be this way. But if that's the case, then we're going much higher starting May 1st. We're going to start climbing in May 1st. So no longer selling May. Man, I get this question 10 times a day. I'm serious, 10 times a day. And I have to say the same thing over and over again. As far as right now, my plan is to sell in May, at some point in May. Maybe it's the end of May. I don't know. But I am going to let the market lead me. If we just start going up and up and up, and there's no signs where, higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low on the daily chart, and there's no signs of weakness, I will not sell in May. But there's only 1 year in the last 7 years that we had a good May, May to July at least, and that was 2019. So, 2024, it was very choppy. It was in a minor downtrend, but very choppy. That was torture. 2023, we were in the middle of a 200-day range. 2022 was sell in 2022 and go away. It just kept on going down. 2021, despite the fact that 2021 was a big bull run year, sell in May and go away was 100% on point. 2020, it was just a chop. It went up. Bitcoin went from 10,000 to 12,000 and chopped around and then went right back down to 10,000. 2019 was the only year when it was good to hold in May. This year has been wild, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw gold in May. Yep, and if that's the case, I'm not selling. So again, I know I talk a lot about sell in May and go away, but I'm not selling if we're going to start this big uptrend in May. And then I know I'm going to get a lot of hate from people like, you said you were going to sell in May. No, I've been saying I'm going to sell in May, assuming that we don't see this big uptrend. And if we see an uptrend, I will sell at the first sign of weakness starting in May. Anyway. So, hey, here's some hopium if you're willing to survive for this month. Is this what's going to happen with M2? Or is it going to propel Bitcoin to $135,000 in July? I'm skeptical, but we'll see. Okay. Let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash. One of the strongest charts, believe it or not. My respect for Bitcoin Cash has gone up significantly. And here's another one. Thank you, Blue Dive. Here's another one that this is why I prefer to buy cryptos with a lot more price history right now, is Bitcoin Cash gave us a perfect entry. And we saw, higher low formed. We saw a nice high volume breakout of its downtrend. This thing has strength. And then it entered right back because, man, it really should have held in this fair value gap area, that big green candle that's called a fair value gap, but it didn't. But then, okay, it didn't hold there. Maybe you entered along somewhere around there, which I'm not saying you did, but okay, now what? Now you look in this liquidity zone here that I drew a long time ago. And what a perfect entry that was. I entered Bitcoin Cash yesterday and just spot entry. Now I just felt like taking profit because I was up 5% or something like that. And so I sold. And maybe, we'll see what happens next. Don't worry. They will always talk about whether it is good or bad. Yeah. I'll try not to worry. Yeah, my last note on Bitcoin Cash was March 13th. My goodness. Setting a limit order for 298. If it gets there, it needs to be short-term gains because that will be the start of a new downtrend. Oh, no, I was wrong about that. No. So I said 298. That was in this liquidity zone. But I would not say that that's a new downtrend. I would say that, if it were to go lower than where it went to on this big wick here to 270, that would be, thank you, Los Sway. That would be where I would say for sure big time downtrend now. But 298 was a perfect place to set a limit order for Bitcoin Cash. I mean, of course, yeah, I went a little bit below there, but now it's at 312. Okay, Metis spot play. Interesting. See you later, monkey. Real monkey. So it looked like it just had, man, a couple false breakouts here. Or you know what? Maybe I just would say I didn't draw my trend line well enough. That's probably the real answer. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, that would be my response to that. Now, higher low, at least there's a higher low formed on the daily here. I'm just like, it's still officially in a downtrend, and there's not a ton of room between now and where we would expect it to put in a lower high. I don't love the idea of longing Metis or buying spot Metis right now. Aside from, maybe this is some level of support. Maybe this is going to hold. And maybe my thesis that tomorrow is a buy the event kind of thing. Maybe, in that regard, sure. You want to buy some spot Metis, that's fine. I just don't love the idea. This is the kind of crypto that I'd rather wait for to see if this is really support and if it's going to start an uptrend, and then I'd buy. So not in love with it, but if you were to buy Metis, I think you'd be okay. BNB. Binance has been holding up very well. Let's see, BNB 608, 200 days been resistance, and that's my note on my last update on Binance. Middle of the range, so the range for BNB, be bullish at the bottom of the range and bearish at the top. Bottom of the range is 544, top of the range is 700. So ZBCN, I don't know what that is. I'll look at it in a second here. So it's just in the middle of the range, more resistance above it than support below. Still in the middle of the range. Nothing's changed. Okay. I said still in the middle of the range. Nothing's changed. Not excited about longing or shorting. Okay, let me look at ZBCN, and then I'll answer your question, AAPX man. ZBCN, what is that? Never heard of this. Very high volume lately. I mean, maybe there's something with the volume. Volume has really picked up. This chart's really interesting because it's like what happened in February here while everything else was dumping. This thing pumped really hard and then came back down. Is this old? All right, launched in April. Doesn't look dead. I mean, at least there's that. It doesn't look dead. I don't know, man. I like the volume. That's all I'll say. I like the volume. And it does look like it has a very solid floor. You know, it's holding up very well. So might be worth looking into. I don't know anything about it fundamentally. I don't know their tokenomics. So, all right, how do you see the next 12 months? I guess I could just draw it out. You know, most people are probably not too excited about what I would say about the next 12 months. I'm 50-50 as to whether election day was the peak. You know, I'm going to ride whatever the market gives us. If we start a new uptrend, I'm going to ride it. I know there's plenty of people whose opinions I respect who believe that we have, like the blockchain backer. Let me tell you his outlook real quick. He thinks something like this. Oh gosh, let me start that over. Okay, something like this. And then, no, not as high as 140. All right, give me one more chance here. Something like this. 127, something like that. And then down, and then a lower high, and then it's over. And during this lower high would be, and it's not quite along these time frames, but the lower high would be a huge rotation into altcoins. And then it would be over, and Bitcoin would go down much lower than what most people are expecting. I could see this. I'm 50-50. Maybe this is how it plays itself out. This is the best case scenario in my mind. I am not a bull for the end of 2025. I'm a mega bear for the end of 2025. The Atlanta Fed just announced they revised their first quarter projections, and it's even worse now, which isn't surprising me because like the Trump administration this time around is like the first Austrian economic administration ever, pretty much. Not ever, but like since Warren G. Harding, you know? So here's scenario number one. Best case scenario by far. Now, I'm not saying, so according to this scenario, you know, we'd peak in, according to my drawing at least, we'd peak in June and then put a lower high in August and then big alt season. Don't worry about that. That's not to scale at all. But just saying, you know, I think if it happened like this, it would happen a lot quicker than that. But scenario number one, let me draw a different color here. How about yellow? Oh, never mind. Yeah, let me put that back at red, but then draw a new one, and then I'll change the new one to yellow. So scenario number two would be a lower high. Let's say we get up just below 100,000, and then we just, you know, we'll have some bounces along the way. Let me actually reset this here, because what we would do, I think, under this scenario is a lower high, and then we would come down to 73, in the 70s, 60s, something like that, and hang around a little bit, and then lose that, maybe bounce off a little bit the bottom of that range, and then just go down. And my target is $30,000 at the end of this year or early 2024. Sorry, forgive me for that terrible drawing there, but something like that. Under scenario number two, you know, altcoins aren't going to do that much. I'm sorry to say. They will go up if we see Bitcoin get up to $99,000 or something like that. They'll go up. But scenario number two, the moment we see weakness, I am out of everything. And scenario number one, the moment we see weakness, I'm holding on. I'm holding on a little bit because of the potential for an alt season. So I think BCB says that Wave 5 for Bitcoin would top around 127K. Yeah, that's what I was trying to draw, Huggy. That's exactly right. But right now I'm a bull, you know. Right now I'm a bull. We can be bulls together. But guys, I would love to be wrong about the end of 2025. Please let me be wrong. But again, guys, this time is different. This time has proven itself to be different. Because I made a video on YouTube and on TikTok about this. I mean, you know, on TikTok, I'm showing you the Bitcoin quarterly returns. This year, so for Bitcoin quarterly returns, do we dump tomorrow? I don't think so, Dev. Bitcoin quarterly returns, 11.82% down for the first quarter of 2025. The post-halving year, that's not normal. That is not normal. The best case scenario right now is, I mean, look at first quarter of 2021. We only went up 11.89, or sorry, not 2021, 2017. We only went up to 11.89%, we only went up 11.89%, but then the rest of the year was fantastic. So maybe diminishing returns, we pumped too early, maybe. But then you look at Ethereum. Ethereum had its third worst quarter ever. And in 2021, Ethereum went up 160%. In 2017, Ethereum went up only 18. No, never mind. I was about to say only 18%, but no, I read that wrong. A modest 518%. You know, so this is not normal. So why would we expect anyone holding out hope for the end of 2025 that would also forget about, all right, you know what, forget about early 2025. That was an anomaly, but the end of 2025 is going to be the golden bull. All right, can we still get an average of 5x in alts? Under scenario number one, yes. Under scenario number two, absolutely not. Scenario number two, if that's how it plays itself out, I'm here for percentages. I am not here for X's. Not on a single one of my altcoins. Scenario number one, you know, this second, that relief rally there, that lower high, the altcoin explosion, that would be like a $10 XRP. That would be maybe even for Ethereum a new all-time high. That's what would happen under scenario number two. Do you think scenario number two alts would reach the December peak? I don't think so. No. I would not give it a 0% chance, though, now that I'm thinking about it. Because, you know, looking at Bitcoin dominance here, I'm hopeful about this chart. And let me go to the daily here. You know, it's an ascending wedge playing itself out over a period of 3 months. Uh-oh. We are nearing a point of reckoning. With ascending wedges like this, 68% of the time, this breaks to the downside. So, hey, you know, let's say Bitcoin goes up to $99,000. And then we see this break to the downside and go to the mid 50s or lower 50s. You know, maybe we would see altcoins hit new all-time highs, or not new all-time, a new high in total too. Okay. All right. Got 3 questions here. Let me answer Will's on YouTube first. So Will asks, thoughts on Radium looks good on higher time frames. Does it? And I'm not challenging you on that. I'm just asking. Higher time frame. So daily looks okay. I'm sure weekly looks terrible. Yeah, weekly does not look good at all. Aside from the fact that, stochastic and RSI. Cody, I think you misheard me. Give me a second here. I'll get to you in a second there. Stochastic's way oversold. Daily looks okay. Daily looks okay. So, is there some value in this right now? Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. So as we pump, what to look for, so we know it's scenario number 1 or scenario number 2. Yeah. All right, Bitcoin. Let's go to the USDT chart and go to the daily here. Okay. So I'm going to delete scenario number 2. All right, let's see if I can, now that we're zoomed in a little bit, let's say we see something. Oh, wait, you know what? Let's do this on total 2, because I'll be paying a lot more attention to total 2. So what caused me to start being cautious in December? Amir, I'll get to you in a second, man. That's kind of difficult to pivot back to that. So what caused me to be cautious in December? I just look at the chart. For total 2, was we had this aggressive uptrend and then we lost it violently, and then we tried breaking through but got rejected at the trend line, and that's when I started expressing some concern and I don't know, and then we put in a lower low, and I was like, okay, we are logically at the point of a downtrend. So I sold a lot more at this point right here, 786 retrace. So let's say scenario number 2 plays itself out. We would see something like this for altcoins. We're rejected at the 200-day, probably go down, higher low, move up, break through the 200-day. Keep going, okay, higher low, something like this. And then, this is basic charting. If we then from here saw a lower low, that would be my sign. And then what I would want to do is do exactly what I did in December. I would sell right around, I don't know, right around here. I mean, this is just a drawing. I'd wait for it to put in a lower high, and then I'd sell. Because then what I would think would happen after that would be a new downtrend. So going for the rest of the year, basically. So when do you think it will start climbing up? The thing that I've been saying, tomorrow. I know that's like literally, well, I mean, so when do I think it will start climbing up? Yesterday was a higher low in Bitcoin. So just to be clear, this is right here where I would exit. All right, so no December high, but $10 XRP crying emoji. No. Under scenario number 1 would be $10 XRP. And then we would go well beyond a new all-time high, or new December high, beyond the December high, excuse me, for total 2. So what does that look like here? Scenario number 1 would be massive. I would expect at least to move up to the 1.618 retrace. Let's just say that. It would go up to the 1.618 retrace. So something like this. Boom, 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 boom. At least to this level. And then, maybe I would just be like, all right, you know what? I've made some good money. I'm going to sell here. Or I would wait for a lower low and then exit at a lower high. Something like that. And let me change that color. Oh, okay. I thought you told someone no December high for scenario number. No, yeah, definitely. And maybe even way higher than this too. Yeah, so just rejoin with scenario number 2. I mean, here's a picture of scenario number 1 and scenario number 2, basically a mirror. Is Injective worth a punt at these levels for potential good returns? Did that make the cut? I don't think Injective made the cut. No, it didn't. Not that I wouldn't talk about it, but do you think ETH will hit a higher high? Even under scenario number 1, I wouldn't be shocked if ETH did not hit a new all-time high. It could. It certainly could. Man, Injective. What do we say about Injective? It just... So essentially just short of a full retrace or we blow that top. Yeah, something like that. That's under scenario number 1. So at least something that Injective has going for it, it's like this descent should not be surprising given how little time we spent in 2023, at the end of 2023, getting to these levels. Timeline, a couple months. But now we're into a zone here where there's a fair amount of liquidity to the point where this could be a bottom with Injective, but it's just, man, I don't like buying charts that look like this. You know? Could it be that this is a bottom, you know, a double bottom here? And this is a perfect place to enter. It's possible. Or, you know, we're just going to keep on going lower. I'd rather buy something with, like I said, you know, more historic, more price history. Yeah, Amir, I see your comment there. So, I mean, like I said, now I'll show you guys something. I don't want this. I'm not going to share any links to this. Actually, no, I'm not going to show you. Sorry. Personal trading. I have a personal trading journal that I just kept a spreadsheet for. On that journal, you know, what have I bought, basically, is what I wanted to show you. I'm going to pull it up on my other window. So here's what I've bought over the last couple of days. Bitcoin, XRP. Now, Bitcoin was a 1x long, whatever. XRP, Solana, Avalanche, Bitcoin Cash, Doge, Link. I got a little racy with Gala, you know, Gala Games. Bitcoin again on another, that time it was a short. Arrow, a short. I lost money on that one. Akash, a short. I made money on that one. Link, XRP. That's all boring, you know? Super boring. I mean, you guys can see this here. I'll pull it up here. So you can see gains and losses. I've done all right the last couple of days. My losses were a little bit bigger than my gains. That's what I need to work on, is not, you know, not be content holding losses. Not be okay holding losses, as okay as I am. So I had modest gains. My biggest gain was Bitcoin Cash, dollar-wise. Avalanche is still open, but I moved my stop loss above my entry, so that's a gain. Solana is still open, and I'm up, you know, 4% on that right now, spot buy. So that's all I got. But what do we have here? Gala is at the bottom of a high time frame range, to be fair. Yes, that's why I liked my odds on Gala. And I got a little too antsy. It was perfect. It was a perfect entry. See, this is just, I need to be more patient with my trades. I fully acknowledge that. But I was like, you know what? I want to lock in some gains. And I took a modest 2% gain on a 2x long on Gala. I need to do better than that. So it was just, if it gets down there again, 0.1526, I did tweet that out yesterday. If it gets down to 0.01526 again, I think that's going to be another good entry on Gala. You could have a tight stop on that, It goes below this wick right here from March 11th. That's probably a good place to just exit that long. So what does that look like? How about we put a long position on here? Where would be our take profit? So you could do one of two things. You could be very conservative and do a lower high, or, I'm bullish, some kind of a higher high, something like maybe right around there. What is that? 2.2 cents. And then where's the stop loss? Way, way higher than where it put it here. Stop loss would be right about 0.13433. So risk to reward, what is that? Risk to reward ratio 4.09. That's not bad. I mean, that's fantastic if it plays itself out like that. So, but I like those odds. Huh. Cody, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, look at the price history with Gala. This is what I like about these older cryptos, is that there's just a lot of support historically. It did go down below there in 2023 at one point. I don't know what that's about, but I'd rather have something like this than something brand new that really doesn't have a floor established. So where was this in 2022? Wow. Yeah, so it's pretty much right back at bear market bottom levels. I mean, that's not surprising. Yeah, Cody, I did. All right, so the question from Cody, what do you think? What do you and Ski think about Bitcoin following the M2 money supply up? I think Ski would be a full believer in that. Personally, I'm not convinced. I don't know where to find it, but I had this chart pulled up. If we're going to follow M2 money supply, we're going to go back down to the upper 70s for a little bit. And then starting around May 1st, we're going to blast off and, hit 135,000 by July. Maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe under the blockchain backers scenario, that's exactly how it plays itself out. Given how crazy everything has been with 2025, why not have May be the time that we would pump hard? But we're just going to have to play it by ear. I'm more skeptical about this because this is not how it has always played itself out. When people show you M2 money supply charts, they show you a zoomed in perspective, but they don't show you 2022. Which we didn't follow it at all in 2022. Not nearly to the extent. So, we'll see. Okay. Now, Bitcoin, cryptos that are 10-year hold for me, Bitcoin, that's it. If I were forced to hold any other cryptos for 10 years, XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, VeChain. My list is very small. That might be it. One of you might throw out something that I'd be like, yeah, I'd be willing to hold that for 10 years. Maybe Ethereum Classic, honestly, but not Ethereum. Oh, man. All right, so, man, I would love to I would love to say that we should long Bitcoin right now. I think tomorrow is going to be the end of selling the fear. You know, that big sell-off that we've had because of the tariff fears. But Bitcoin is approaching resistance. And look at this resistance. You know, it's just clear rejections. I remember last week when Bitcoin got up to $88,000, I was like praying, please, let's break through this resistance here. And it just couldn't do it. It got rejected 4 times in a row and then dumped. So here we go again, getting right up to double resistance, the 200-day moving average. And what is that? I mean, just the trend line. So 200-day is 86.3, and the trend line's 86.4. So I would expect a struggle around there, and I might even open a short, I'm sorry to say, just for a scalp, very short term. So that's all I typed in on the spreadsheet here. Major resistance above, might open a short at 84.64 for a scalp, but I'm bullish for a buy the news event with the tariffs. Okay, I have about, I'm going to say 5 more minutes. I want to make one more video on TikTok, and then I want to, and then I have to go pick up my kids at school. So if there's anything you want me to look at in particular, now is the time. I bought this book. It's been amazing, and I want you to at least be aware of it. It's not this one, although I'm thinking about buying this one, 2024 Stage Analysis Model by Stan Weinstein, but Best Loser Wins. Guys, I can't really stress this enough. So this has been, I started reading this a week ago, and because I made a video yesterday, I posted on TikTok and on X. This past month has been my worst trading month in a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And the reason why is that Trump scam pump that Sunday threw me off. I just tried fighting as hard as I could to make what I lost. I had a bunch of shorts open that day. And Sunday is supposed to be a day when you don't have to look at charts, at least Sunday morning. But I got hit pretty hard. I don't know. I mean, I held on, I cut my losers somewhat quickly, but I lost somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. And so then the rest of the month since then was just trying to fight to make that up. And so I let my emotions take over, and I just got super emotional, like way more emotional with my trades than I've been in a long time. And so I just kept on digging a hole. And this is not a book on technical analysis. This is a book about mindset, that you have to have the right mindset to, and you can't dwell. You have to have a short-term memory. You can't dwell on the past. I made this note here. You are the market to be. Swear word, kind of swear word. Just to remind myself that I will never have control over the market. If I think I have control over the market's going to break into my office and slap me silly. And so a big thing that I want to talk about in this video is this very brief part on surrender. You have to give up control. Give up thinking that you have control. And all right, I've said enough. Awesome book. It's actually been helpful for me, like getting back on track, and so far so good with this week at least. So anyway, okay, LCX. You know, man, LCX. There, this chart. This is what LCX does to you. It's like I look at a chart like this. I have zero interest in buying this crypto, none at all. But then LCX will do something like what it did in November and just blow it out of the water. You know, people were asking me about LCX all the time. Yeah, and then I'll look at Loopring. People were asking me about LCX all the time. Like, should I give up on LCX? Should I give up on LCX? This was in November, to the point where like I made a video, a dedicated video, saying like, you know, the chart looks terrible, but probably not a good idea to give up on LCX. So that's my response now. I have no interest in buying LCX right now, none. But I wouldn't be surprised if I got left in the dust. So Loopring, I mean, same deal with Loopring, except, you know, it is below its bear market low. That's a concern. Oh, wait a second. Oh no, yeah, this is going back to 2020, 2019, 2018, but below its 2023. Man, I mean, even in 2024, it went below its 2023 and 2022 low. So, you know, if it follows that pattern, this can certainly go a decent amount lower. And at some point, you know, maybe it would rally, start a new uptrend, but put in a lower high around 19 or 20 cents, something like that. I'd rather just move on to something else. So, okay, I'm gonna be done. Thank you all. Oh, let me inform you of something. I have to take my son on Thursday to I think it's a dentist appointment. My wife knows all this stuff, and it's like right in the middle of the day. So I'm gonna go back live tomorrow. Member live stream on YouTube with public viewing access, and subscriber live stream on TikTok. So I will be back tomorrow, but not Thursday. So, okay, that's it. Have a good one, everybody.